What's going on, creatives? Welcome to my channel and welcome to my weekly design training where I share design tips for designers free. In this tutorial, I have designs I received from my group members and I'm going to share what is working and what is not working in the designs. I'm sure you're going to learn from this tutorial, so let's start. The composition here is dull. What mostly affects the success of every design is when the design lacks good composition. What mostly affects the composition of your design is when your project lacks good hierarchy. When there's no level of importance in your project, there should be something that you're supposed to use for us to draw the attention of the viewers. Then the next thing you will now do is place the next information you want people to see in the project. The first thing I noticed that really draw my attention in this project is two things at the same time, which is this and this. All right. And when you have too many things calling for attention at the same time, it's going to affect the success of your design. And also, the other thing that affects this design here is the lack of good structure. When I say structure, I'm referring to the way architects draw building projects. I mean, every element in every design project must be well aligned. So here, this project is not really balanced, all right? Because the designer did not align the information in the project. This project is a bit successful. The hierarchy here is, is still preferable, and I'll tell you why. Most time when you place texts, all right, at the upper part of your frame like this, what you're trying to say is you want people to read this information first. And if you look at the project, you notice that we don't have any other bold information in a frame like the way we have this. So the hierarchy here is beautiful because yes, this is different from every other information in the project, and the way we now have this here also is beautiful. But there's still the part of not balancing the project here, and I'm saying this because of the too many moving things around, like the way we have this here where we have all this text here and then we now have this here. I don't really have any problem with the text we have here. I don't really have any problem with that. The only problem I have with this is that there's not enough space here, because see, there's something called proximity in graphic design where you group your elements. I know so many designers don't understand this proximity thing, and that's why you find yourself moving every of your content too close. All right, proximity is how we group elements in graphic design, where we say, okay, elements that are close to each other are seen as one group. So when you don't give room for proximity, most time it always make the project look boring. Is that I move this close to this and I give space between this and this. Yeah, I'll give space between them, because you're giving space between your elements is also part of how you will help your audience to navigate through the information on your project. It's like when you are talking and you notice that you are giving yourself break so that you won't choke yourself. That's the same thing that happens in graphic design when you don't give room for space, when you don't give room for proximity. There should be an opportunity for your viewers to rest when they are digesting the information that you have in your project. So the space here is too close, all right? And the other thing I feel this designer did not really do right here is the using of the elements the wrong way. All right, I know we have trusted vendors here. These are trusted vendors. People who are not used to all these vendors here may not know who they are. So if I were you, what I'll do is I'll look for the logo of each of these vendors and place them somewhere here or at the bottom here. All right, because see, you see this image here. All right, these coins that you have here, they are attention grabbers. And when you now load them too much with other elements that are not really connected to them, it's going to make the project heavy. All right, it's going to make the project heavy. So the placing this behind the coins is not necessary. Your placing of elements in graphic design should be like the way you see things in real life. All right, you don't place elements because okay, you have the elements. You don't place it because okay, yes, I have this element and I want to add it to my project. No, 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 no. You check the right position for that element before you put it in your project. If I'm going to use a picture of a coin in the project, anything that I'm going to put around the coin should be something connected to the coin. If I'm going to place any other thing different from the coins, I'll at least give space between them to make people know that, see, this group of image here, they are different from this particular image. I hope somebody's getting what I'm saying here. These are more like cards. All right, they are more like cards, and it's good the way you put them together. So I expect you to at least make them, you know, move them away from these coins, which really you don't need them. You don't really need this. It's just their logos that you need. You don't need all these you know, cards that you have behind the coins. You can make the coins bigger, then move it close. All right, move it close to the title. All right, and then make this come in their separate logos. All right, like that. And then you have the contact information, and the space between this is too much. And that's another thing I notice most designers don't know. Space is important in graphic design, but when it's too much, it's going to make it look like something you're supposed to add something to that place that you did not remember to add. So your space should not be too wide, like the way we have this here. If you move this close to this, all right, if you move it to, like you move it close to this side here, it will still flow. And then you can, there will still be room for you to put this somewhere here. All right, let's get the balance like this. Yeah, the composition here is dull, and why this composition is dull is because the designer did not really understand the use of element of design. All right, and you're not knowing how to use the element of design can also affect your knowing how to play with the principles, because the element of designs are like the tools that we use to speak to the audience. So when we don't use them the right way, it's like when you don't speak French and you find yourself in a village where everybody speaks French. You know, to communicate with those people is going to be difficult. And that's the same thing that happens when you don't understand the element of design. And that's what I noticed this designer did here. Before I share the redesigned version of this artwork, I'm going to quickly share what I believe this designer is supposed to do that would have helped the success. The project is talking about Thanksgiving, and most of us who are Christians understand what it means when we hear a church is trying to do a Thanksgiving service. It means they're trying to create an atmosphere of fun, an atmosphere of joy. All right. And as designers, whenever we are asked to work on projects like that, we're supposed to reflect that atmosphere in the project. We're supposed to make people know what the event is about, so that people who are not even Christians, when they see the design, they know, oh, this design is trying to talk about fun, trying to talk about celebration. All right. So every element in your design must reflect what your project is talking about. Yeah, I know the designer tried to a bit play or get to that part of that celebration in the project, but why he or she did not really do this well is because of the color used in the project. When you are trying to do a celebration project or something related to fun, please avoid the use of too many warm colors. Warm color will not really give you that energetic effect, that joy effect. And the other thing this designer, they don't really do well here, is the image. Images in graphic design they're like the eye magnets, all right, to every project. And that's why when you place a design with image and the one without image close to each other, you'll find out that the one with the image draws people's attention first before the one without the image. So the use of image is very, very important in graphic design. But there are times when you don't need image in your project, where your other elements aside from type are what you're going to use to depict the illustration in your project. All right, but images, my point here is just to make you guys know that images are very important, in graphic design. When you don't now use the image the right way, where you don't have a good quality picture in your project, it won't really make people want to get involved. In fact, even if the client spends so much for people to have fun, if your poster, the image used in your poster, is not really giving that excitement effect, it's looking sick, because that the number one tool that we use to tell story in graphic design. So the feel, the effect on your image, the quality of your image explain what the project is about. If you're using blurry image in your project, your impression to your viewers is, see, this event is not really important. In fact, they won't even look at it because the image is dull. When people see good quality image in your project, it makes them want to look at every other information in your design. So avoid the use of dull images. And also, the other thing that I noticed this designer did again here is the use of elements that are not really okay for design. There are some elements that you're supposed to avoid when working on design projects. Effects like these are not, really okay for design. All right, when you use effects like this in your project, it's going to make the project look as if it's sick, and that's what most people or most clients normally use to single professional from non-professional designers. All right, so this is the redesigned version of what that designer did. Sorry, this is not supposed to be in the project. These are the colors I used to achieve the project. Whenever you're working on any design project, I'm going to say it again, there should be something you're supposed to use to draw the viewer's attention. So in this project, aside from using the hand with the drum to draw attention, because yes, images are attention grabber, the title here that looks different and bold with huge weight is what I use to draw the viewer's attention. I'm still using the almost the same layout that the designer used in the project, where making use of the drum to project the title of the artwork, which is what I was supposed to even share on that the designer's artwork. Your ability to use your illustration to project the title of your project or other information in your project is part of how you make your project look interesting to the eye. And that's why I decided to place the title on the drum. Now, it's not every time you do this. There are times where your illustration will not give you the ability to make this happen. So don't do it. All right. When you see an empty space in your illustration, you can always put your information on that empty space to really help project the information in your project clearly. So the hierarchy here is very balanced, and I'm going to quickly share that with you. So the first thing that take more high level of hierarchy in this project is this, and then the next thing is this. And why this is the next thing that draw the people's attention is, number one, is close to the title, and also there's an arrow pointing the attention of the viewers to look at it. All right, and this is one proximity here. For those of you that don't know what proximity is, so the grouping of these elements here is one proximity. All right, that's one proximity right there. This is the second proximity here, because if you look at this, you notice that the dates, the venue, the website, they are close to each other. So this is going to serve as the second proximity. Sorry, I'm making my frame rough, and then this will take third. There'll be a separate tutorial where I'll show you guys how I was able to achieve this project. For those of you that want to learn how to use Photoshop. So I'm going to show you how I was able to get to this level and how this drum here was able to project this title correctly, because I did not use the image the way I copied it from the internet. No, I still did some touch on it so as to help project my information clearly. All right, so I'm going to stop here. All right, I'm sure you learned from this tutorial. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up, share this video with other creatives so they can also learn from this tutorial. And if you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.